Politics, if you don't know, comes from ancient Greece, and it is modeled after Aristotle's Affairs of the City. And it's really a reference to citizens making decisions. And that's really what we're all about. Politics is the art of people dealing with people and citizens trying to get involved dealing with their government in the process. The other thing I would say is that this election is an important one, and every election has its consequences. But if you look at what's on the table right now, $16 trillion budget deficit, economic competition from countries like China and Thailand, throughout Europe and India, and a sharp polarization of American politics. And I would argue that what's going to happen in this campaign will really shape, I think, the next decade of our country. Now, every election has kind of that narrative. That's really politics 101. If you go back to 1980, it was that Reagan narrative, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? If you go back to 1860, with the election of Abraham Lincoln, where really the country's future was to be decided. Or you go back to 1932, the rejection of Herbert Hoover and the election of Franklin Roosevelt. Or 2008, in which you had that change message that was so important to Barack Obama. And if you look at where we are as a country today, I think the Washington Post probably had a headline better than anyone else. It is one frustrated U.S. electorate. And I began to kind of think about the narrative of this election. And part of that narrative can be felt with what this campaign is all about. In 1992, James Carville had that famous line, it's about the economy, Steve. Well, in 2012, it's about jobs. That is going to be the deciding issue in this election, barring some other national or international disaster, which I hope we don't feel.